how did you think about AI in marketing for the first time?
Yeah, I think kind of like everyone, when ChatGPT hit and I had that moment of like, oh, this is a magic trick. This is something different, right? A lot of people have talked about that feeling. I thought that AI had shifted. This was a mainstream thing and it blew up quickly in my network of sales and marketing people because of what you could do with it. But for me personally, it was within that year. So I think in 2024, I saw where I was doing my knowledge work. I was in doing a lot of content marketing and producing a lot of podcasts and doing a lot of generating myself. I've ghostwritten books, multiple books, and written coursework workbooks and all kinds of stuff that when I saw that I could do that in a tenth of the time and not even just having it write it for me, but generating outlines, summarizing podcast transcripts, creating the titles, descriptions, meta keywords, email tags, LinkedIn posts, all of the work that I was doing in a tenth of the time, I thought, this is amazing. And instead of doing it for one company, I need to do this for 10 companies and try and make 10 times the amount of money. And I got to go all in on this because it's not just like subtle. A lot of tools are like, oh, it'll make you 10% faster or even 1% faster is a good investment for most people. But when I saw it was like 9, 10x my time and output that I could do, I was really shocked.
That's so interesting. So it was for you about productivity. But when you look back into all your experience around AI, and obviously you host a very successful show, maybe you heard something from your guests. What are the common misconceptions around AI in marketing or marketing for AI?
I have two things here. The first one is an analogy that I call like the Iron Man analogy. And I don't know if your audience knows the Marvel superheroes, Iron Man and the Terminator movies, and you've probably even heard this analogy before too, because you're in the world. But I think a lot of people make the mistake in marketing of thinking like, oh, I'm going to set up these AI agents or marketing automation and it's just going to go sell for me and I don't have to do anything. And I'm going to set up these independent Terminator robots that are going to go hunt down leads and convert them for me. In reality, AI is not there yet. And that doesn't really work because if everyone has that, we would have millions and millions of Terminator lead robots like spamming you all the time, reaching out, interrupting stuff. It just doesn't scale and it doesn't build trust. And AI, like you said, it is fast. It's a productivity increase, but I also see it as like an amplifier that if you have bad marketing and you turn an amplifier up, you're just yelling the wrong message to the wrong people louder. You're not actually fixing your marketing problem. So the Iron Man approach for me is how do we Tony Stark, the human in Iron Man, wraps himself in the technology suit and has Jarvis AI in his ear, helping him make decisions, give him information he wouldn't otherwise have as a human. And it turns Tony Stark into the superhero. So it's amplifying his natural abilities. And I think that's just a much better approach. Do you have any thoughts there, or should I share number two with you? My thought.
Now, look, I'm all with you. It's not just in marketing, it's everywhere. So for me, AI enhances great skills of humans. But first and foremost, you need to develop those great skills. We can't cut edges and corners and just some miraculously master those 10,000 hours, which all of us need to develop something. Yeah. And actually, in the age of AI, I even think that it's not just about 10,000 hours. In one thing, you might need those plus maybe 5 or 8,000 hours in something else. AI can enhance human innovation. And what I'm discovering, it's most useful and interesting on the edges, not, let's say, in this median of a model. It's not really interesting if you ask it to compose another bug for you, because what is the point? Yeah. Or maybe to write another recipe. So it won't probably give you that pleasure, but it might give you some spark and then you carry on. I'm aware that you are very big on the human centricity in AI. Could you maybe explain it to my audience? What is this human centricity for you?
Well, that's what I was going to say with my point number two, that I think you kind of hit on a 2A, which is if we are working in the middle, that's bad marketing. No good marketing is actually marketing to the masses in the middle, especially for most small businesses. I mean, if you're an enterprise product that can advertise on the Super Bowl or something, sure, you want to hit the most amount of people possible if you're a mass consumer brand. But most businesses are not that. Most businesses are selling to a target audience, which means you need to be on the edges. You need to hit their edges. You need to personalize the messaging. And that's one of the first parts of the human first philosophy that I teach. And I host the Human First AI Marketing podcast where I talk to a lot of people about this. And the first one is the customer first. If you don't put them first and you don't understand who they are, you're just making slop because you're not making anything for a human. The second thing is, and this was the point I was going to get, I think you have to do the work first as the human marketer or business owner, and you have to record your thoughts. You have to give AI the context. You have to tell it what you're about, what you stand for, what makes your business better or different than others. What is your compelling offer that's unique and different than anything else on the planet? And if you don't do your work first, then it's not going to get great output. And then number three here for human first is your employees. Like I said, I want to make them the superheroes. I don't want to replace them with automation. I know that there are cases for that. That's just not what I'm interested in. And then especially in marketing, it's a human activity. We need creative, we need connection, we need trust with people to do good marketing. And I think those are human jobs. So I'm sure there are people out there trying to replace human marketers and salespeople, but I don't want to be